Hello, online folks. We're going to start here in just a second. We're just going to give it, we'll do it to it. Hi, welcome. Come on in. Just about to start in a minute here. And again, for everybody, if you're, whether you're sitting on a chair or a pew, feet don't either reach all the way, or they're just cold. You can put your feet on a cushion. So we have the cushions up here and cushions back there too. Feel free to grab one. Life is hard enough as it is, without making it harder in meditation. All right, let's start. Welcome to the Wednesday Loving Kindness Meditation. My name is Alex. It's wonderful to be here with you, everybody. It was kind of rainy outside, a little drizzly, whatever it is outside today, and it was like 6:56, and I was like, nobody was here. And I say it's not really a big deal because they don't really show up until like 6:57 or 6:58. I mean, you can pretty much put it on a timer, and lo and behold, like everybody came in at once. It was awesome. It was good to see you all. Anyone here for the first time? Oh, welcome. How did you find out about us?
I've heard about you through friends at yoga,
Yeah.
and my friend is visiting from Ohio, and he just decided to dash over.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. Where do you go to yoga? Where do you do yoga?
San Diego Yoga Studio over in Bay Park.
Bay Park. Wonderful. Thank you. So, the format of this class is just we're going to have a short introduction here. We're going to have our meditation on loving kindness. I'm going to guide it, so don't worry. I'll give you kind of an idea of kind of what we're going to do beforehand, so you're not kind of surprised, when we're in the middle of this meditation. And then afterwards, we'll have like a little Q&A and stuff like that, and then we'll go. So the word that we're talking about, we say loving kindness, and that was like an English translation when they were doing the original translations of this word called metta. And that's the word we're really talking about, metta. Metta, M-E-T-T-A, is it's this wonderful kind of all-encompassing ideal. It's not just a word. So you can say loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, goodwill, concord, amity, inoffensiveness. I mean, there's just like 20 or 30 words that can mean loving kindness. And it's really just a wish to be happy, a wish for ourselves to be happy, a wish for others to be happy. And more than that, a wish for ourselves and others to also do the things that cause happiness, right? And if you know the motto of the Dharma Bum Temple, you know what causes happiness. The motto of the Dharma Bum Temple is think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. Those things, in a nutshell, I mean, of course, it's a nuanced conversation, and a long nuanced conversation, but essentially, those are the things that cause happiness, right? So we want ourselves and others to do the things that cause happiness. And the great thing about this practice is, if you're doing what causes happiness, and even if your enemy is doing what causes happiness, your happiness and their happiness will never be in conflict, right? Because these are things that are beneficial, that are not harmful to anyone, and only bring good feelings and vibes and all those types of things um, to yourself and others. So that's the wonderful thing about this, because people always like to think of, well, I can't do this for my enemy. I don't like them, right? Um, and I don't like them either. I don't like my enemies either. Um, but we don't even do the loving kindness for the enemy in this particular practice, so it doesn't matter anyway. Um, so kind of what we're going to do here is, there's a standard way that we do loving kindness in the West. Doesn't work, because this is based off, how they do it in Buddhist countries. Their culture different from our culture. And so, in Buddhist cultures, they always start with loving kindness for yourself because it's the most important, and it is the most important. But for them, it's also the easiest. That's another reason why they start first. For us, it's usually the hardest, because if you're asking us, who've been through a lifetime of this culture that is difficult. It's hard growing up in this country. It really is. It's really, really hard. Um, uh, as evidenced by when you ask someone to do loving kindness for yourself, we hate ourselves. And this self-hatred is like it's the biggest epidemic we have. Certainly more than COVID, you know. So we do it a little bit different here. So we start with loving kindness for our benefactor. For us, that's usually the easiest, for someone that we love, right? Then we're going to imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. That can be a little bit more challenging, um, but it really shouldn't be, because all I'm asking you to do is, hey, do you remember when somebody was really nice to you and did something nice for you because they liked you or they wanted to? And it could be someone like your mother or your father or your brother, sister, best friend, whoever it is. Can you just call that to mind and remember how that made you feel? So good. They must really love and care for you. Can you just imagine them doing this practice for you? You know. So we'll do that. And then we'll do loving kindness for ourselves, which is going to be a little bit harder for a lot of people. And that's okay. We ramp ourselves up to that. We start small, start easy, and then get to the place where it's a little bit harder, right? And then we'll do this practice for all beings in all directions. It's kind of my favorite part. I don't know why. I just like putting it out there in the universe. Just all beings in all directions, loving kindness. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to do that. All right. Let's start. Any questions before we start? Questions that I can answer. All right. Let's go do this. Everybody ready? Everybody ready online? Hello. Hello, Dazzling Meow and Carlos. Hello. All right. Let's get my timer ready. So just allow your eyes to close, making sure you have that comfortable and stable seated position where you're not likely to move around too much. Though, if you need to move, it's okay to move. Just do so slowly and as mindfully as you can. And when we sit like a Buddha. And you can even imagine yourselves as a Buddha sitting underneath your own tree of enlightenment, because historically each Buddha has their own tree of enlightenment. You can make it like an oak tree or a eucalyptus tree or a willow tree that's nice and flexible and blows in the wind without breaking. Whatever you want is fine. So at first, just allow the words that I say just kind of wash over you. You don't have to pay too much attention to them. There are instructions, but there's so much flexibility with these instructions. Don't get caught up in details. So let's just get connected to the breath. So let's just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. Not forcing it, letting the breath be quite easy and quite natural at first. And just following the breath all the way in through the nostrils and paying attention to the breath at the base of the nostrils, feeling the air go in and out as you breathe. Or you can focus on the belly or the chest, feeling its expansion and contraction as you breathe. You always want to have at least about 25% of your attention on the breath with any meditation that you do. It keeps you grounded to this moment, to this earth, so that you can then more securely and easily do this meditation on loving kindness. If you have a thought that arises, that's okay. Just note it and say to yourself, thinking, and come back to the breath. Just that act of saying thinking will snap the mind back to the present, where it can be the happiest. The present moment is not the goal, but you can't get to the goal without the present moment. So we always want to make sure that we're as present as possible in anything that we do. Just for the next couple of minutes, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. And so, to begin our formal practice of loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, and goodwill, let's just think of a benefactor. Again, a benefactor is anyone who has shown you great love or great kindness, someone that's really easy to have these feelings for. Mother, father, brother, sister, best friend. Someone who's at least done something nice for you will work too. And to do this practice of loving kindness, you can either, one, radiate loving kindness to them, wishing them happiness, wishing they do the things that cause happiness. Just in however you understand that word radiate. Sometimes I like to think of like a beam of loving kindness going from my heart to theirs. This beam is warm and vibrating and filled with my well wishes and love for them, gratitude for them. Or if you want, you can just repeat phrases of loving kindness for them, like, may you be happy. May you be safe from inner and outer danger. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. You could use one or more of those, it doesn't matter. Or a phrase of your own concoction, so long as it has a loving and kind intention behind it. It also helps to smile. Smiling puts our mind in a really good mood. Makes this easier. You could have one benefactor, 20 benefactors. They could be living, they could be not living. Doesn't matter. So for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for our benefactor. And so shifting our focus a little bit from loving kindness for our benefactor to now just imagining our benefactor doing this practice of metta for us, for you. They're a benefactor for a reason because you've already experienced their love and kindness for you. So just call that to mind again. And in gratitude, just imagine them radiating loving kindness to you. They're smiling at you, maybe. Maybe they're reciting the phrases of loving kindness. Either way, it's okay. And just allow this loving kindness into your heart again. Allow it to permeate every cell of your heart. Smiling in gratitude for their loving kindness to you. So for the next few moments, we'll imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. And then now, for the most important part of this meditation, is can we now have and do this practice for ourselves? If we have the experience of loving kindness in our own heart, because this is an experiential practice, Buddhism, if we have that experience in our own heart, it would be so easy to have this for others, to do this for others, because we know what it feels like. And if we know what it feels like, we wouldn't want anyone to be harmed in any way. Our heart would be like an internal, like a wellspring of loving kindness. Just give without thinking. So you can either imagine your heart getting bigger or warmer or radiating loving kindness back onto yourself, or you can just repeat the phrases of loving kindness for yourself. Like, may I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer danger. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at peace and live at ease in this world. Remembering to smile if you can. So we'll do this for the next few moments, loving kindness for ourselves. Now, finally, all this loving kindness that we've generated, we can give that to all beings in all directions. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, those near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. And you can do this practice for all beings in all directions, or if you want, you can make it smaller. You could do everybody in this room, or everybody in this city or this neighborhood. However you want to do it is okay. But I just like to put it all out there. Why not? But do it how you want to. So we'll do this practice, this part of the practice to end our meditation. Just open your eyes when you're ready. Let's just take the next moment or two out in silence as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs. Keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about you. And then we'll begin. If you have a question, just get that ready. All right. So for the online folks or for anybody here, any questions on the instructions at all? Hopefully they were relatively straightforward, but if not, if you want any clarification, that's okay. My tummy was making a lot of noise. And sometimes I get self-conscious because sometimes I think it's just so loud. Did anybody else hear it?
No,
No, okay. It's just me.
I heard my own stomach.
You hear your own stomach. Nice. Yeah, we all heard our own stomachs. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed specifically when you're talking about, and I've heard other meditation and bringing it back to the breath,
Mhm.
right? It's like 25% of our awareness
Mhm.
maybe is focused on the breath at all times. And I find that when I bring my attention specifically back to the breath,
Mhm.
I go into like what feels like really shallow breath.
Mhm.
I have to like catch up.
Mhm.
And that is a little bit distracting, and I was just wondering if does anybody else experience that, and then how you work through that, you know what I mean?
So what you're saying is you heard the instruction of, keep 25% of your attention on the breath or about, but when you do that, your breaths tend to be really shallow when that happens. And so you find yourself just kind of trying to catch up
Yeah.
to kind of your breath because they're kind of shallow. And the thing about that is, and if anyone else afterwards wants to relate your own experience, that's cool. The thing about the breath is it's always very good to experiment with the breath to find out what kind of breath is going to keep you connected to the present. It doesn't have to be shallow. For some people, they just need a big old whomping breath. And that's perfectly fine. I mean, the Buddha always tells us to figure out what kind of breath is going to be good for you, because it's going to be different for everybody. For some people, shallow breaths are just fine. But sometimes you need that kind of deeper breath to kind of wake you up and keep you alert and kind of put your attention on kind of what you're doing, you know? So it's okay to just take a deeper breath and just kind of find where is that place in the breath that is most comfortable for you so that you can, have 25% ish on the breath while at the same time doing this practice of loving kindness. And so that's going to take some experimentation. That's why they call it a practice. Right? So it's always okay to kind of change and kind of figure out what's going to work for you. Yeah. Anybody else have an issue with that?
Kind of knows myself changing it up.
What was that?
I kind of knows myself trying to readjust, like, so just breathing, like I made a conscious effort to like change it and try to go deeper.
Yeah.
And get back into my own rhythm.
It's always, and that's what we're asked to do, right? That's what we're asked to do. We're asked to, because it may be different later on. It could be like I'm taking these kind of medium breaths, and this is working for me. But 5 minutes from now, it might be totally different. It's like you realize that because if you have some alertness, like I need to take either a deeper breath or a shallower breath because I'm kind of hyperventilating. And so the mind needs to stay, somewhat alert to say, hey, is this working for me? Right? And because a lot of the time we always think that we're doing it wrong. That's the big thing in meditation. Like the biggest thing when I tell people about meditation, like they don't want to do it, or my favorite, I've heard this on TV. I've heard this like from people like, yeah, I tried it, but I just totally failed at it because I just can't do it. One, you can't fail at meditation. It's just not possible. Two, of course you could do it. And three, you're probably told wrong or you understood incorrectly. This is an impossible thing to fail at. You have different levels of going deep and being able to do this practice, of different levels of being able to pay attention to the breath or stay present. But that's true for everybody, and it's a deeply personal practice. And, your practice is going to be different from somebody else's practice, because, what things that work for you are going to be different than things that work for somebody else. And we have so many, it's an embarrassment of riches, the strategies that we have in this practice. Because meditation is not a monolith. There's like one way to meditate. There's like a billion ways to meditate. Right? And we have so many different strategies of going deep, of staying centered, and all these different things. And we always experiment. It's okay to experiment, and you don't have to be perfect. There's no need for perfection. I think that's one of the things in this culture. Like, I have to be perfect. If I'm not perfect, I'm wrong. I'm bad. It's like, no, none of that's true. You're not bad or wrong, or you're not any of those things. How can you think that, let's say you come, like I came to meditation and Buddhism when I was 40. So to think that I've spent 40 years traumatized and growing up in this traumatizing culture, riddled with self-hatred, how can I possibly think that I have to be perfect right off the bat? Or even in a year? But I did. It's exactly how I thought. I meditated and I was able to go like 5 minutes and then 10 minutes and then 15 minutes and then 25 minutes, blah, 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 blah. And then, but I was never perfect at it. It took me a long time to realize I don't have to be perfect. I just have to do my best. And however that meditation is however it is. Yes.
I really appreciated what you said right before the meditation. Be present in everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because so often I'll be driving and listening to a TED Talk or a presentation, and then I'll start thinking about my to-do list, and then the audience will start laughing, and then I'll be like, wait, what did I just miss?
Yeah.
So just really being present.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times I do that too. I was like especially it's before I do something that's probably stupid, that I know is probably not going to be, well received. Like, wait, just why are you doing this? Wake up. And then, oh yeah, I don't have to do that. And I'm like that too. I listen to too many like conspiracy theory podcasts because I'm interested in like why people get involved with those like conspiracy theories and cults. I'm really interested in that kind of behavior and that kind of like belief system and like why people do it and like how they got out of it and all that kind of stuff. And so it's really interesting for me. So yeah, but sometimes it's just too much. I just like 10 minutes has gone by, so I'm like, what did they say? All right. How about the meditation? How was the meditation for you? I would love to know what your experience of meditation is. Great, not so great. This part was difficult. This part was not easy. Or was easy, or whatever it was. Yes.
I thought it gave us to think and possibly say to our benefactor and to ourselves and to all the spirits,
Mm-hmm.
near and far, was very helpful
Mm-hmm.
and very, it was simply worded, but felt effective.
Yeah. There's no expectation of them giving something back to you. You're just giving it to them. And I kind of like that. I don't have to wait for a reply. I'm just giving this to you. Where did you say you were from again? I'm sorry. Yes. Ohio, right?
No,
Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. I thought you said Ohio. Okay, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very different. In Ohio.
Ohio, no, from Ohio.
From Ohio. That's very different from Ohio. So I was about to ask you, okay, this is kind of a culture shock for you. How did you feel? Right, yeah. Right. Anybody else have anything? Anybody online got anything for me?
I just want to clarify something.
Yeah.
It was Meta, METTA?
METTA, Metta. Yeah. METTA. And they even have a monastery up in Valley Center, a Buddhist monastery of the Theravada tradition, which is kind of what they practice in Thailand. It's Thai in origin. It's called Metta Forest Monastery. So the Loving Kindness Forest Monastery is beautiful. Yes.
Where is, you said Valley Center?
Valley Center, yeah.
Where is that exactly?
So Valley Center is like northeast San Diego County. So Valley Center is, you would go up like the 15 and then get off on like where that mall is. And then kind of go kind of north, kind of east.
I like the way you say that mall as if there's only one.
It's the big giant. It's the big North County Mall. They used to call it North County Mall, and I don't know what they call it now. It's like it's kind of near there, kind of. Yeah. So Valley Center is out there, and so this monastery is in the middle of this big giant avocado grove. And it's beautiful, and the several monks who live there, and people who kind of stay there, and participate in the activities and feed the monks every day, and it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
The word metta, is that universally used throughout Buddhism?
No, good question. In the Tibetan traditions, you'll hear it called Maitri. Same word, it's just different language. Yeah, but metta, I mean, that basketball player, I forget what his name is. It used to be. He named himself Metta World Peace. So yeah, so he knew that. Yeah, Metta World Peace. But yeah, Metta. Mr. Announcements, we have announcements.
Yes. Hello everyone, I am tonight's host Travis. We opened the Dharma Temple 16 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who either not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice with others. Almost every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone battling addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 5 p.m. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We also have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you're done with it. Please straighten your seat or cushion before you head out. Thank you for being here. We wish you well and hope to see you all again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Travis, can I ask, is the food distribution, we bring food so you can distribute it, or we need food and we
We
can?
have the food gets donated by the community. You make sandwiches and then you take it as a group downtown to hand out.
If you've ever done that, that's the most amazing practice. That is a practice of loving kindness right there. I did it like every week for like a year and a half. It was amazing. All right, let's join our palms together at our hearts, please. May the benefits of this meditation, this discussion be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your evening and your week, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
guys. Bye, guys.